Have you ever met someone who seems to live in their own world, always 3 steps ahead, with a mind that's a labyrinth of plans and ideas? They're probably an INTJ, the rarest personality type, often called the mastermind. Today, we're diving deep into the mysterious, quirky, and downright weird habits of INTJs that make them so unique. Okay, stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll either realize you're one of them, or you'll finally understand that enigmatic friend who SOS plotting world domination in their head. Let's jump into the 7 weird habits of the INTJ personality type. Habit 1. They treat life like a giant strategy game. INTJs don't just live life, they strategize it. Picture this. While you're deciding what to eat for lunch, an INTJ is mentally mapping out their entire week, complete with contingencies for every possible outcome. It's like they're playing a high-stakes game of chess, and every decision is a calculated move. This habit stems from their dominant function, introverted intuition, which allows them to see patterns and possibilities others miss. They're not just thinking about today, they're thinking about how today's choices will impact their goals 5 years from now. For example, an INTJ might choose a job not because it pays well now, but because it positions them perfectly for a career pivot in a decade. But here's where it gets weird. They apply this strategic mindset to everything. Go into a party, they've already analyzed the guest list, predicted conversation topics, and planned their exit strategy. Grocery shopping, they've optimized their route through the store to minimize time and maximize efficiency. To an outsider, it looks obsessive, but to an INTJ, it's just how their brain works. This habit can make them seem cold or detached. But it's not about being unemotional, it's about being ruthlessly efficient. They're not wasting energy on small talk or spontaneity, when they could be solving problems or planning their next big move. Ever wonder why INTJs always seem to have a plan B, C, and D? It's because they've already simulated every possible scenario in their head. Habit 2. They're secretly obsessed with perfection. INTJs have a love-hate relationship with perfection. They crave it, chase it, and sometimes drive themselves crazy trying to achieve it. This isn't about being a neat freak or obsessing over details like a stereotypical perfectionist. No. For INTJs, perfection is about creating systems and outcomes that are flawless in their logic and execution. Imagine an INTJ working on a project. They won't just aim to get it done DLL. Aim to make it the definitive version of that project. Okay? If they're writing a report, they'll rewrite it 10 times. Not because they're indecisive, but because they're refining it to align with their impossibly high standard. They'll research every angle, anticipate every critique, and polish it until it's a masterpiece. Here's the weird part. They're not doing this for praise or validation. They don't care if you clap for them. They're doing it because their internal compass demands excellence. This can lead to some quirky behaviors, like spending hours tweaking a single sentence in an email or reorganizing their desk to optimize their workflow by 2.3 seconds. But there's a flip side. When an INTJ realizes perfection is unattainable, they can get stuck in analysis paralysis, overthinking every detail until they're paralyzed by indecision. It's like watching a computer with too many tabs open eventually. It just freezes. If you know an INTJ who's been working on their novel for years, this is probably why. Habit 3. They talk to themselves a lot. If you've ever caught an INTJ muttering to themselves or staring into space like they're resolving a quantum physics problem, don't worry, they're not crazy. They're just having a full-blown conversation with themselves. INTJs are deeply introspective, and their inner world is a bustling metropolis of ideas, debates, and simulations. This habit comes from their need to process complex thoughts internally before sharing them with the world. They're not just thinking, they're stress testing their ideas, arguing both sides, and refining their conclusion. It's like they have a mental courtroom where they're the judge, jury, and attorneys all at once. What's weird is how this manifests outwardly. You might see an INTJ pacing around their room, gesturing wildly as they debate an imaginary opponent, or they'll mutter something cryptic like, "No, that won't work because of the third variable. And you're left wondering what on earth they're talking about. Spoiler, they're probably solving a problem you didn't even know existed. This self-talk isn't just quirky, it's essential. It's how INTJs clarify their thoughts and prepare for the real world. So, if you catch them whispering to themselves, don't interrupt. They're probably in the middle of inventing the next big thing. Habit 4. They hate small talk with a burning passion. If there's one thing INTJs despise, it's small talk. To them, discussing the weather or what someone had for lunch is about as exciting as watching paint dry. INTJs crave depth, meaning, and substance in every conversation. They want to dive into big ideas, philosophies, science, the future of humanity, not chit-chat about weekend plans. This aversion can lead to some hilariously awkward moments. Picture an INTJ at a social gathering, standing in the corner, looking like they're mentally calculating the fastest way to escape. When someone tries to engage them with, "Nice day, huh?" they might respond with a blank stare or something brutally honest, like, "I don't care about the weather unless it's affecting global climate models." But here's the kicker. INTJs aren't trying to be rude, they just don't see the point in wasting mental energy on superficial topics. If you want to get an INTJ talking, ask them about their latest obsession or a problem they're trying to solve. You'll be amazed at how animated they become when the conversation has purpose. This habit can make INTJs seem aloof or intimidating, but it's really about their laser focus on what matters to them. So, next time you're chatting with an INTJ, skip the small talk and go straight for the deep stuff. You'll thank me later. Habit 5. They collect knowledge like it's cards. INTJs are knowledge hoarders. They don't just learn for fun, they collect information like it's a rare commodity, storing it away for future use. Whether it's quantum mechanics, medieval history, or the intricacies of coffee brewing, an INTJ will dive into a topic with the intensity of a detective solving a murder case. What's weird about this habit is how random their knowledge can seem. One day, they're explaining the theory of relativity. The next, they're lecturing you on the cultural significance of Viking runes. It is not that they're re-showing off, they genuinely find this stuff fascinating and assume everyone else does too. This obsession with knowledge also means INTJs are lifelong learners. They're the ones signing up for online courses, reading dense academic papers for fun, or watching obscure documentaries at 2 a.m. But don't expect them to share their knowledge unless you ask. They're not here to lecture you, they're too busy chasing the next intellectual high. The downside, they can get so lost in their quest for knowledge that they forget to actually apply it. Ever met someone with a PhD's worth of information in their head but no idea how to use it in real life? That's an INTJ in their natural habitat. Habit 6. They plan for doomsday. INTJs are the ultimate contingency planners. They don't just prepare for what's likely, they prepare for what's possible, no matter how unlikely. Forgot your umbrella. An INTJ has an extra one in their bag, along with a backup plan for a sudden alien invasion. This habit comes from their ability to see the big picture and anticipate problems before they arrive. INTJ du junti. Just pack for a trip day, pack for every possible weather condition, medical emergency, and technological failure. Their suitcase is basically a survival kit disguised as luggage. What's weird is how far they take this. An INTJ might have a detailed evacuation plan for their house, complete with escape routes and a go bag stocked with essentials, or they mentally rehearse what to do if their boss suddenly quits or their company goes bankrupt. To them, it's not paranoia, it's preparedness. This can make INTJs seem overly serious or pessimistic, but they're just wired to think 10 steps ahead. If you ever find yourself in a crisis, stick with an INTJ, they've already got a plan. A backup plan and a backup for the backup. Habit 7. They're secretly emotional. Here's the biggest surprise about INTJs. Beneath their cool logical exterior lies a deep well of emotions. They feel things intensely, but they'd rather die than let you see it. This habit is weird because it's so contradictory to their reputation as cold, calculating masterminds. INTJs process emotions privately, often analyzing their feelings like they're data points in a spreadsheet. Okay? They'll ask themselves, why am I feeling this? is irrational. How can I fix it? This internal dissection can make them seem distant or unemotional, but in reality, they're just guarding their vulnerability. What's quirky about this is how it shows up in subtle ways. An INTJ might spend weeks crafting the perfect gift for someone they care about, but they'll downplay it as no big deal, or they'll write a heartfelt letter, then hide it in a drawer because expressing emotions feels too exposed. If you're close to an INTJ, you might catch rare glimpses of their softer seed of fleeting smile, a quiet gesture of loyalty, or a sudden burst of passion about something they love. The weirdest part, they're often unaware of how deeply they feel until it hits them like a freight train. When an INTJ finally lets you into their inner world, it's like discovering a hidden galaxy. Treasure it, because it doesn't happen often. So there you have it, the 7 weird habits of the INTJ personality type. From treating life like a strategy game to hiding their emotions behind a fortress of logic. INTJs are a fascinating mix of brilliance, quirks, and contradictions. Whether you're an INTJ yourself or you just know one, understanding these habits can help you appreciate the unique way their minds work. Which of these habits surprised you the most? Are you an INTJ with your own quirky habits, or do you have an INTJ friend who's always one step ahead of everyone else? Drop a comment below and let me know. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the INTJ world, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next video. Until next time, keep exploring the mysteries of the mind.